So a lot of people don't understand how wind turbines make electricity. And I'd say the simplest idea to understand about this is that the wind turbine is turning the mechanical energy of the wind into electrical energy. And it takes various processes to do this, but the main processes that are significantly impacting your generation of electricity is the wind force. So how many miles per hour, or how dense is the wind that's brushing up against your blade? The size of your magnet, the size of your copper coil or other conductive coil, and thus that's pretty much how much energy you're going to get out of your wind turbine. Is those three factors: is the size of your magnet, the size of your coil, and the size of your blade, and the amount of wind. But there's other things like startup speed. So some people feel that you get statistically more wind if you have a lower startup speed. So if you have a startup speed of, say, 1 mile per hour winds, which is actually not heard of at this point, then you're going to get more power because statistically there's more 1 mile per hour wind than anything else out there. There's just going to be more of the lower mile per hour wind happening all the time. Sometimes there's no wind, and sometimes there's really big gusts. So some of those wind turbines out there that are that have high ratings that don't actually produce well in the real world, is because people are measuring these gusts. With new technology and micro wind climate surveying, we can actually determine where you're going to find microclimate winds. And with new technology such as the QuickScat wind survey patterning from NASA, we'll be able to see what type of winds are, over many years over the oceans, all over the world. So our ability to survey the wind is increasing, and that's going to eventually, provide better returns on investment for people that have wind turbines. So think about these three things: is how big is the wind turbine alternator, and how well, that's one thing, and how big are the blades, or what is the swept area of those blades? Because the swept area is essentially the area that you're gathering your energy from. So vertical axis wind turbines have very large swept area, and so do some very large horizontal axis wind turbines. But on average, vertical axis wind turbines have more swept area because they're vertically, their axis is vertical. They have a large tube that they capture their wind from, as opposed to a large swept blade area. I hope that helps.